Welcome to the Full Bull Podcast, where we discuss all things Bionano genomics. We hope everyone's doing well and that the information presented here can both inform and entertain. It's important to state that nothing here is financial advice, and no one on the Full Bull Podcast is a financial advisor. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment of the Full Bull Podcast. We're here to keep you up to date on all things Bionano genomics, the tech, the stonk, every move. We've got you covered. We're extremely grateful to have you on board with us this week, and we've put together a particularly spicy hour for you, so you're not going to want to miss a moment. Without further ado, let me introduce you to our panel of bulls. Leading us off is Jeff, a.k.a. The Jefford Effect.
Hey, guys.
We have triathlete exceptional Henry, a.k.a. IB Henry.
That'd be me.
Philosopher and fortune teller Michael, a.k.a. The Super Cunt.
What's good, baby?
And I'm Justin, also known as your Vegetable Maximum 970. On today's episode, Michael will be taking us on a philosophical endeavor in multiple realizability and why you need to know what that is. I'll be bringing an all-new Tech Tonk with Vitronk. Jeff will be bringing some game time. Of course, Henry has your weekly installment of Henry's House of Gainz, taking a look at Bingo's streams of revenue. We got Justin with Justin, the Jefford Effect. So much more that you're not going to want to miss. So here we go. Let's get started. Gentlemen, what were your plays this week? Jeff, tell us. Give us a summation. What happened this week, man?
It's kind of like a recovery week. I think it started out a little slow, but then it BNGO, as well as a lot of the stocks, the market recovered, and it was looking actually pretty strong. BNGO closed pretty strongly, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I mean, especially after that dip, it's kind of grinding back up. So my thoughts are that you're right. You know, we're on recovery, right now. And I think right now also the shorts kind of taking advantage of us as well. When I look at the stocks that were shorted on BNGO, it was right around the $8-9 range. So they just don't want it to go up. So they've got $21 million of short shares. 21 million shares that are shorted, right? So I'm thinking every time it goes up, they're just cashing out, just maintaining it underneath, their $9 mark or whatever that case is, right? So once they're run out of that, then Bingo will start to rise, in my opinion. But if for whatever reason the pressure is to buy more shares, and I think this is a critical week for that. We have quadruple witching this Friday, right? So all the options, everything expires this Friday. And if BNGO is above, $9, $10, $11, they're going to have to cover. And if they cover, it's going to be exponentially, just shooting upwards. So I think Friday is going to be super exciting. So we'll just have to see. There's nothing but fucking rockets on Friday.
Nothing but rockets on
three days
fucking Friday, dude. Jesus.
Yeah. The short ladders, man, are real. The short ladder attack.
You see that, right? You see
it's
that,
crazy.
right?
It's so crazy.
I think we learned a lot from GameStop with all the short ladder attacks.
I was just gonna say that.
I'm sorry, man.
No. They gave us their hand. They showed their hand. Like, it doesn't happen often that people behind the scenes and things show their hand, and like they taught us too much.
And let's be clear, the short interest on Bionano is not anything compared to like what GameStop was at 140%, over shorted or anything like that. But it doesn't take that big of a short interest to drive a small cap stock price down and to foment some negative sentiment. You know what I mean? And try and apply some down pressure to keep the stock price lower,
Before we move on to the next thing, we had some fun on Twitter this weekend. We had
shout out in different crayons for NDC.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Everything. Sorry, I'm not going to say anything else, but shout out NDC, and also while I'm in the little mini shout out group, Shout out to Crappy Camper. He said he wanted a shout out on here, and I never
Crappy
give
Camper.
I never give
You're-
shout outs. Yeah, I never give shout outs when people ask for it. Same like on the sub. I never give flair to anybody who asks for it, unless I give them the okay, I have a flair. But Crappy Camper, I was so proud of him. Yeah, I was so proud. Like he was the second biggest bear next to Star Bear.
Oh my God, he was.
He was just so bad. He would cry and cry and cry every day.
My finger was on the ban button. I was like,
I know.
ban.
Oh man! And then he had
turned
these-
around.
He did. He turned it around. He totally did. He grabbed his own bull by his own bull horns and he turned it around.
His own bull. His own bull.
That inner bull, you got to grab that inner bull and you got to fucking wrestle with it.
Pretty soon, buddy. I swear to God.
No, he totally did. And his bull energy is strong. But not only that, he had these GME calls. He was stressing. And shout out Redding. I don't know if Redding's ever gotten a shout out on here, but
Hey, ready?
We were like, man, it was 350. GME was 350, and he was like, man, my calls are looking great. And we were like, dude, sell, just like be done with it, get out. Like it's the move. And he did, and like 30 seconds later, it just
$100 in 20 seconds.
You know, yeah, and he made it. He was a success story, and I was so happy for him. So shout out, congratulations.
That is the power of having.
And I know he threw out the
collective.
shout out to NDC, but we also need to throw a shout out to Vitronk as well, because he put that.
Oh, that's right.
That bingo theme together as well. He's the one that wrote the story.
Those dudes killed it. Like seriously, I cried multiple times.
I don't know how many times I watched it. It was amazing every time I watched
It's
it.
so good.
It's gold.
All right, Jeff, what were we gonna say though about the? about
just
the story,
about,
man?
just about Twitter. How Eric posted the picture of introducing Chris Stewart, our CFO. Now I'm wondering if Eric has someone on staff do his photoshopping for him, or does he do it himself? I'm curious.
He's got to be doing that himself.
I think so. Yeah,
He's doing that himself. NDC thinks he's doing it.
We have a crayon in our toolkit. Does all ours. He's pretty awesome at it too.
That's right. We have
We
a
do. We have a
nondiscrete
crayon in our toolkit.
They have the sharpest crayon in the box.
Well, it was so cool that now Queen Alka's liking when we tweet. She's liking
totally
our stuff.
playing
She's
along.
following
Can I
us.
just say,
Yeah,
I
it's
lost
fun.
my shit.
Dude.
I mean, like, I'm an Eric fanboy, don't get me wrong. But, like, Queen Alka is just such a powerhouse.
She's a powerhouse.
Like,
She's freaking
holy
amazing.
shit, man.
I'm gonna put the tweet of her responding to or her liking our thing today because as soon as she did it, we all
Everyone
immediately
lost their minds on the Discord.
I screamed
She loves something
out
we
loud.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
She loves us. She loves us.
Yeah.
Well, we love her.
But
Man,
I think Jeff
it's
was
been
saying
an
something
exciting
about
week, guys.
Chris Stewart.
Oh yeah, he's our CFO, and he's been he has been playing in the shade, or in the background, kind of, so to speak. He hasn't been front and center very much, so I think Eric wanted to give him a little love, and he he photoshopped his head on a cowboy and with a little sapphire chip on his belt, and it said,
That was the
Chris.
best part. The little
was the best
sapphire chip
part.
was so
Not
cool.
like
BNGO
Oh,
Ranger.
My fucking mind.
Not only did he turn into a bingo ranger, but he had the sapphire chip on his belt. Man, that was freaking awesome.
But it was
pretty
perfect
cool.
timing because we just dropped the Westworld, right? So like we were already in the cowboy move, and everything just kind of.
Did that.
He did that in response for sure.
Also,
Oh, yeah.
we shouted out this dude last time, but again, Mr. Investalot, I think, has played a role in this whole cowboy theme that Bionano has now adopted, you know?
It's funny.
Holy shit.
Well, it's
We're gonna
perfect
see
too
thing.
because, like, if we think of ourselves as being, in the wild west of genomics, right? Kind of at the beginning, everything's just kind of starting to run. It's the perfect theme, and Westworld's double good for it because of what it represents in terms of creating people and understanding this AI system and what it means to be a person and these things. And so I think it's just such a cool set of themes to stack on top of each other. It really is.
What I like is when they put Eric's face on one of the characters and put the sheriff's badge on it that said CEO. I'm like, oh my
bro.
God, brilliant, because
Every time.
there's a new sheriff in town. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, baby.
There's a new sheriff in town. Bionano.
Right.
There you go.
I cannot. But it says like hi-fi reads are still cool, right?
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Absolutely
I
brilliant.
love the last
Vitronk
line.
wrote that story. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Is this a good price to get
the
in?
last line.
LOL. Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
I've never heard.
You know
heard
what?
that
After this podcast, I'm gonna go back and watch it again. I tell you, man, I can't get enough of it.
Yes.
So just so we're clear to our listeners, that was the brainchild of Vitronk and Crayon and DC. That was all them. They did all the.
It was so fun watching it come together. Like
titles.
like we've all we put a lot of work into the podcast and stuff, but watching them spitball stuff back and forth and send things in was so fun. Like it was such a cool thing to watch.
Yeah, we had a very little hand in it, but it was fun project.
It was great, man.
Yeah.
Those guys worked hard. Awesome job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the highlight of the week. I mean, like, Bingo had a great climb this week.
A good recovery.
Man, the meme.
It was good.
The meme gets it.
I don't
Making
know,
me
all
laugh.
the Twitter interaction was so fun for me. I had such a good time. Like it really feels like being part of the community is being a part of itself. Like it's one thing to be part of a community, but it's another thing when a community is part of itself.
I was going to say, in all my years of trading, I've never been so involved in a company as this. And to have the CEO, CFO, and the CMO all like tweeting back and forth with us, joking around about Westerns and shit, like that's pretty cool. Like I don't know,
awesome, man.
I've never seen anything like that before. It's really neat.
Yeah.
It's cool that they're interacting with their fans. Like, I don't know. Basically call them fans.
Jeff and Henry, you guys like kill the Twitter game. I just want to say that.
Unreal.
Like, you guys
Unreal. I don't have it in me.
kill the
Like
Twitter game.
I'm a straight boomer when it comes to social
I'm
media.
so
Like I
bad
just
at
can't.
social.
I can't do it. Like, and it's crazy. Like the style, the aesthetic of your tweets, the way you express yourselves on Twitter. Like, when you read people's tweets, it's just idiots everywhere. And like the way you guys express it, like I can't stand it. And like the way you guys write, the way you guys express yourselves, the way you put it out there, it separates us immediately. Like like when we put our name on something, we all put our name on it. And so
that's why I'm really careful when I'm creating a tweet. We're representing the brand and all of us. So you got to got to be careful what you say and be politically correct and all that jazz.
Toes.
No.
Yeah.
But it's all
Unless it's
all the hashtags and all that. That's really important to get that to get viewed, and the right hashtag is important. And I see the tweets that you do, Henry. You do some awesome tweets as well. We both kind of shared the Twitter account, and you picked up where I slack off, and vice versa.
We were a little late on the podcast this week, but I thought it was fine. I thought it was cool.
The stimulus checks, you guys are getting your Simi checks, aren't you? Pretty soon here. You guys, is that 14 hundo each? Is that
it's
how much you
it's
get?
gonna be $2,000 for me, $2,000 for Henry in California.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they give us an extra 600.
Oh, being in a different state, you get a different. Oh wow. Well,
we get a state refund.
Okay.
Okay.
That liberal
I'm
stuff.
looking forward to that. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
So
live on that for a while and just let your shares sit and gain money.
Yeah, they'll get me through April.
Yeah, get you past earnings.
Jane and I are getting a huge paycheck because we just had a kid.
Oh, that's right.
So we get money for the baby too.
Nice. Oh, there you go. That's what
the baby's buying bingo.
Yes,
the baby's buying bingo.
I told Jane, I said, "Listen, we're gonna do this like church, just 10% right off the top. Everything.
That's our tithe. Goes to bingo.
Yeah, we're tithing. That's right. We tithe to bingo.
We totally do, man. That's man. That gives me a weird feeling.
Yeah.
So Jeff, what else you got?
Jeff, I think I don't know. There's nothing else that I can think of that we can talk about for the past week. So maybe we'll move on to Mike's segment. Okay. And it was, what was it, Mike?
All right. So first of all, for anybody listening, if you come up with a name for my segment, I've come up with Tech Talk with Vitronk. I've come up with the Jefford Effect. I didn't come up with Henry's House of Gainz. Came up with Justin. I'm pretty good at it. I just can't get my own segment title. So if you come up with it, I'll give you a super shout out and whatever fucking flair you want on the subreddit. Whatever you want. If you come up with it, All
right.
Anyway, so I've been thinking a lot about, I don't really do a lot of research for my segments because I don't really usually bring segments to the table, but I've been writing a paper about screening versus diagnostics. We've talked about it a couple times. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but something came out of it that I thought was interesting to kind of point to how cool Saphyr is and how cool BNGO is and what it is that's going on at maybe a little deeper level in terms of critical thinking and cost-benefit analysis of Saphyr. So In philosophy of mind, there's a thing called multiple realizability, and basically it means that there's really two problems with multiple realizability, and it kind of goes like so imagine that there's this bottle of water and this pen, and they're exactly the same color in all the ways that matter for color, right? So we'll say that they're obviously not, but we'll say it has all the same properties that allow for black, and same for this, all the things that make it black. But when you look at the bottle of water, it's white, and when you look at the pen, it's black. So it's two objects that have the same properties but give you a different visual perception. Happens all the time, right? So it's called color inconstancies. There's color constancies where two...
Is this that?
I was going to say,
it's just like that.
It's
just like that. Just like that, yeah.
Fucking God.
Right? And so...
What was it? Was it blue and gold?
Blue, gold, or black? It was blue and gold and
Yeah.
black and gray or something like that. I can't remember the other one. But yeah, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
right,
exactly,
right.
yeah.
Go on.
So the idea is you can also have two things that have totally different properties that when you look at both of them, you get exactly the same perception. So you see two things that have different properties and they both look blue, even though they have different physical properties, right? So the question in philosophy of mind is something like, what do we want to say about the perception, right? Do we want to say that there is some blueness going on in your brain, or do we want to say that things are in the objects, right? That's the problem. But that's not really what matters here. That's just a way to explain kind of what's going on and what I'm talking about. So the big two problems are like, are there two things that realize the same thing, or are there two different things that realize the same thing is a better way to put it, or are there two of the same things that realize a different thing? And so it really comes out of like a functionalist way of thinking about the world. And so basically the best way to kind of talk about it is like when we say a word like wings have a function, right? They help the object that they're attached to fly. But wings come in all shapes and sizes. They do all kinds of different flight. You wouldn't say that plane wings work the same like bird wings, and then also insect wings work differently, but they're all wings given that they function this way. And so when it comes to like Bionano and Saphyr, sequencing is really bad at telling you when two objects have the same properties or different properties, first of all. When it comes to PacBio and things like that, the DNA gets all chopped up, and then it gets put back together by trying to find common pieces of the sequence so that they lay on top of each other the right way so that we can guesstimate what the total sequence is, right? That's what the long read is. And so when we try to do that, it's like getting a jigsaw puzzle and putting it together, but the pieces aren't all the same, and you kind of hope that they're close, and some of the pieces fit where they shouldn't fit, and then when you take a step back, if you get far enough back, it still kind of looks like the picture, but it's not really the picture, it just kind of looks like it. It's like enough to make some inferences about it. And so like that's not good enough when it comes to things like cancer detection, leukemia in children, prenatal detection, where you don't have to actually go in and like cut out pieces of the baby. It's not good enough when it comes to like heterogeneity in general, but it's especially not good enough when it comes to phenotypes. And so we touched on phenotypes a bit last episode, and so this is kind of what got me thinking about it. And so imagine that instead of the bottle and the pen, there are two different genes, and each of those genes makes it so that you have blue eyes, exactly the same color blue eyes. And so you have one, I have one. They're different genes, but we both have blue eyes. So now we can't say, oh, you have blue eyes, you have this gene, right? And the world is like that. We can't just say, oh, that person has this color eyes, they have this gene. That's just not how it works, not how biology works. And so there's a lot of people, like a lot of smart people, that argue that there's no real biological laws that way, that there aren't strict one-to-one direct ratios between what happens in genetics and biology and how, or in genetics and how it like shows itself in biology. And so that's really weird because we kind of grew up looking at like, the Mendel boxes, right? So you're like, you have blue eyes if you have these genes, right? But like that's from like the early 1900s. Punnett squares. And so like that's not really the way that it works. And so to see the way it works, all Punnett squares and those things, those are just abstractions of biology. They're not really the science of biology, even though we learned it in science classes. It's just a way of thinking about it. And so because it's a way of thinking about it, I thought it would be philosophically interesting to say like there are other ways of thinking about it. And the other ways of thinking about it are through this lens of multiple realizability, right? And so if you go to cancer.net, they have all these really interesting, I was just kind of like toying around really base level stuff. And so the big challenges, according to cancer.net, in understanding the genetics of cancer is there's the challenge of predicting a person's risk of cancer, diagnosing cancer versus screening for it, and how to treat it. And so if we want to predict a person's risk of cancer, we can't just say, oh, you have these genes, you'll probably get cancer. That's not how it works. Everybody has the same kinds of genes. We all have 23 chromosomes. We inherit the certain amount from our mom, a certain amount from our dad. We all, right, these kinds of things are there. And so when we look at, what it is that cancer is, it's a kind of like, it's a heterogeneity with genes. It's all these different kinds of problems that bring cancer about. And I pulled up one really good one. Let's see if I can find it really quick. I guess it's not that important. Anyways, the point is cancer comes from genes reproducing and not reproducing properly, for example, right? And so how do we know a gene is not going to produce properly, right? It's more or less a roll of the dice in most situations. And so detecting risk for cancer really involves zooming way out and finding these landscape markers and mapping, right? Once you get a sequence and put it together, it literally cannot do cancer risk detection because it is just one part of something that copies forever. But if you zoom out and you see a bunch of these copies over and over and over, and the landmarks go from here to here, all the landmarks look good except for this one structural variant here that we know, given this structural variant, over time, it can either realize or not realize cancer. Then we see, oh, look, multiple realizability means that this person might possibly have cancer according to this kind of mapping. And so that's why mapping is so important, is that we get to see the way things get realized and be able to talk about them as though they're properties in the world, not abstractions like your Punnett squares, right? It sounds silly to say like this person either has cancer or doesn't have cancer, right? In like a weird logic way. But if you can look at a person and say, this person doesn't have cancer, cool. Look at them and say they do, cool. But if you can look at them and say they might, because, and then put something on the other end of the because that actually has credence, that's progress. And that's what BNGO does.
That's very cool. I never thought of it that way.
Like I don't really, there's not really any response, right? This is more like a welcome to my lecture. But I haven't really seen, I looked around, I poked around, there's not really anybody who talks about it this way. And so the difference will be something like, the difference between diagnostic and screening is diagnostics are expensive and they require that you only diagnose somebody who has been screened for the possibility. And all of our screening for the possibilities of the things that we're really worried about, cancer, Alzheimer's, or I should say the things I'm really worried about. Yeah. There's symptoms already, and you're like, oh fuck, like, and then you have to deal with it.
That's reactive, not proactive.
And optical genetic mapping is the kind of thing that it's just data, right? So just like we were talking about BlackBerry, it's the kind of thing that's producing a specific kind of data. And the more that I look at this data and just think about what are the kind, that's what we do in philosophy. We just look at data and we're just like, what could this do? The more it seems like we'll be able to have a proactive approach to the kinds of diseases and ailments that really scare us.
Yeah, that's what's exciting about this. We're getting into the age where we can be proactive rather than reactive and, start taking therapies or taking on therapies that will enable us to not even have one symptom of what we were supposed to be, any disease we were supposed to be getting, had we not done anything. That's exciting. That's never happened before.
So don't fucking sell.
Don't fucking sell.
Yeah. That's all I got.
What you're saying is don't.
I really mean it. Anybody who comes up with a title for my segment, I got Good you. Job. I don't know what the prize is, but
that was an awesome segment. Thanks, MJ.
Yeah, dude. And I gotta tell you, wow, does that pair just perfectly with our next segment, Tech Talk
Tech
with
Talk
Vitronk. Tech Talk with Vitronk.
Tech Talk with Vitronk.
So, if you guys don't know, we have a Discord server. It's pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome.
And Vitronk's on there, and he drops knowledge bombs with us all the time.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready for this week's episode, and Vitronk, what do you want to talk about this week, man? And he just dropped the link for this Bionano paper that was released in last year, and
before you get into this all the way, I want to say I was very. Vitronk is very careful with his words, and every once in a while he'll get a little out there and throw some middle fingers around and shit, but not like us. And I think it was yesterday or the day before.
We don't have a career. In the genomics.
Not in the genomics field, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was talking. You guys were talking about something. I was just sitting around doing whatever the fuck I was doing. And he gave you one of the greatest compliments that I've seen him give anybody when he was saying how sometimes when you, Justin, talk about some of this stuff, it kind of blows him away because you sound seasoned in this field. And so I think that's a real testament to the kind of work that you do here. So just
totally. You do a good job of representing what he says.
Cheers.
And bringing it to us.
Thanks. He makes it. I love to research and read stuff, and I'm finding more and more as we get into this that I am enjoying this field in particular.
Same. The more I learn, the more I want to learn. It's very interesting.
It is for sure a team effort, though.
Yeah.
So it's a team thing. So he dropped this week. Let me tell you, boys, he has brought the heat. So he dropped this, and I'm sure we'll have links for it in the description of the podcast. I thought to kind of jump us off here, I'd like to just read a little bit of the introduction from this paper that it's on Bionano's website. You can check it out. The title of the paper, and MJ, this speaks directly to your segment.
Sick.
I mean, it's insane. The title of the paper is Bionano Solve Theory of Operation Hybrid Scaffold. Introduction. Having high-quality assemblies is essential for the study of genomes. You gotta know how to put the pieces together, right? Like you were saying, MJ, when we're sequencing something, we chop it up into a bunch of pieces, sequence parts of those little pieces, and then try and find where those pieces fit together, like a big puzzle, right? So having high-quality assemblies, being able to put those together accurately, is essential for the study of genomes. Next generation sequencing, a la Illumina, PacBio, short read data provide limited long range information, which is necessary for assembly of complex genomes. They're not giving us the entire picture. The incorporation of long read sequencing data can help. Long read sequencing data, a la Pacific Biosciences, but the resulting assemblies may still be fragmented and contain errors because some of the pieces might fit together with another piece, but it's not actually supposed to go there. It just looks like it's supposed to go there, right? Okay. I'm like, the synchronicity here.
It's blowing my mind. This is awesome. This is the best. It doesn't happen often. This is great.
So, the incorporation of long-range sequencing data can help. The resulting assemblies may still be fragmented and contain errors. Segmental duplications that span hundreds of kilobase pairs often remain unresolved. Because that's not what sequencing does currently, right? It doesn't. Okay. Bionano genome mapping takes advantage of DNA molecules of hundreds of kilobase pairs to assemble long genome maps. These maps can be combined with sequencing assemblies to produce ultra-long hybrid scaffolds that represent the structure of the chromosomes. When King Eric says that optical genome mapping and next-generation sequencing are complementary technologies, when Vitronk is telling us that these techs don't compete, they complement. This is what they are talking about. This is the end game, gentlemen. I'm telling you, this is the end game. Bionano is singularly positioned to take advantage of this hybrid scaffolding as a diagnostic tool. More on that later. Genome maps are compatible with assemblies from any sequencing platform. Any sequencing platform. They can use Illumina. They can use Pacific Biosciences, Oxford Nanopore, any sequencing technology, provided that the input sequence assemblies are of sufficient quality to be used.
That's right.
Because some of them aren't. The key takeaway here is this is, and in my conversation with Vitronk, what I've kind of gleaned from this is what they are describing here is the unicorn for genomics scientists. Imagine, if you will, Google Earth. Okay, we've used this analogy in the past, where we talk about sequencing. Is really good at telling you your street address, right? But that's it. And there's 15,000 main streets in America. And if you live at 921 Main Street, and that's all the information we have, that's not sufficient, right? And it would Eric was talking about in the last conference, we're finding more and more that actually large structural variations above 500 base pairs are driving the biology.
Queen Alka just liked that we're recording episode 5. Sorry, go on.
Are you serious right now?
I didn't want to butt in either earlier, but she liked one of my tweets just before that too. So she's on there right now.
Listen, Alka, if you hear this, seriously, we love you. You're an inspiration. Please keep doing the amazing work you're doing. Seriously, you are awesome. We love you. All right. Anyway, moving on.
I know. I
Just got a little bit of the nervousness.
She's gonna listen to you.
All right. So, this is the end game, though. All right. So we've used this analogy of the street address is sequencing, right? It's really good at telling us the street address, 921 Main. We've talked about optical genome mapping as being kind of like the whole globe, right? The Google Earth. What this hybrid scaffolding has the potential, as I understand it, has the potential of doing is being able to, just like you can on Google Earth, look at the whole Earth, see the entire genetic makeup, right? The big picture through the map that's produced through Saphyr, and then zoom in all the way down to a single base pair, that you've gotten that piece of the puzzle from sequencing, right? All right. So hybrid scaffolding is complementary to the diagnostic stuff. Okay? When we're looking for things that are important, clinically important, diagnostically important, scaffolding is what people who are diagnosing these things need. This is the tool. This is the game changer. I'm telling you guys, I'm so hyped about this. Bionano is a serious player in the genome completion space. If you want a complete picture of the genome and you want it now, you have to do it this way. This is the way to do it. And you have to use Bionano's Saphyr to get that piece. Vitronk put it like this. He said, scientists are really good at looking out into the universe and seeing things. We can see all kinds of things. Our naked eye lets us see a whole slew of things out in the universe. But if we look through radiation detection, we get a whole different piece of it, right? Bionano is another piece of that puzzle. that scientists get to put together all of these different pieces to give us this amazing picture of the Crab Nebula or the Horsehead Nebula, right? Those pictures are composites that have been put together, like sewn together from all different light spectrums.
Talked about this with the pictures of black holes.
Yes, exactly. The hybrid scaffolding is doing that for the genome. And Bionano's Saphyr is providing an incredibly important piece to that puzzle. And the only ones who are bringing that to the table. So Pacific Bioscience, I'm going to give you a little bit of a bear case here. Vitronk thinks that's important. I do too. So here it is. PacBio, ARC, and others are banking on de novo assembly being a valuable, if not routine, part of clinical sequencing. De novo meaning from beginning to end. Being able to sequence the entire genome from beginning to end and have that be quick and cheap and so routine that it'll be in every clinic, okay, to be used as a diagnostic tool. They think it'll be a routine part of clinical sequencing and that it will be the best way to get an accurate picture of a broken genome or a clinically interesting genome, right? But in reality, and right now, the best way to get a complete picture of a clinically interesting genome is to finish the assembly with Bionano. Right now, PacBio would need to get 10 times longer. They would have to be doing reads that are 10 times longer than what they're doing right now. And they would have to do it a lot cheaper than what they're doing it right now in order to stand a chance at providing the same picture that Bionano's hybrid scaffolding provides. So when people are like, why doesn't ARC invest in Bionano? It's because their thesis is that PacBio's hi-fi reads will achieve that. I think they're wrong. I think Bionano is bringing the end game to the table right now. They are providing the tool that scientists need to see the genome in ways that we've never seen it before. Guys, in this paper, they're talking about like, we did this hybrid scaffold of this genome and that genome. They did it of corn and of people and of hummingbirds, okay? Of hummingbirds. And I'm looking through this shit, and I had to stop myself. I said, Vitronk, I don't understand this, dude.
I loved this conversation.
They talk about how they compare it to the reference genome, because like that's, you assemble the genome, right? And then you compare it to a reference. And that's how you find your SVs and things like that, okay? All right. I said, man, on here it says like the goat. They did the goat.
They did Michael Jordan's genome?
It says that... listen, you don't want to talk to me about Michael Jordan, honestly. I'm the wrong dude to talk about Michael Jordan.
It's just MJ life. I can't help it. All right, go on.
Okay, all right. So I was like, dude, what does this mean? Because like the human, it says that the hybrid scaffold covered 91.7% of known reference assembly. And I'm like, damn, that's pretty good, 91%. Right off the bat already. Okay. But then I look at the goat and it says 104.3%. I said, Vitronk, how can you have covered 104% of the reference? It's because they're seeing shit that no one has ever seen before. Because when they did the hybrid scaffolding, they saw things that were not seen when they did the reference.
So when they created it for 100%, they didn't take into account that in the future, they're going to be able to find more than they did or originally did.
Exactly.
And this is what we've talked about with ARC's thesis before. Our antithesis to the ARC thesis is that he who shall not be named has basically a bad function graph, right? So like technology does this, which is fine if you only look at one piece of technology. But if you compare a piece of technology that's here to here, and you're like, oh, this one's going to catch up, like this. That's like exponents are funny motherfuckers,
Don't work like that, fam.
I have a quote.
This is the other one that really.
I have a quote before we move on from the one that we won't speak of. He said, "Yes, combining OGM with highly accurate long reads would provide the best possible picture of genetic variation." That's my pinned tweet on the Full Bull Podcast Twitter.
Yes.
No, it is. It's been pinned for a while. He said it like
Good.
quite a while
because
ago.
It's true. Yeah. Because it's true. Yeah. All right. So here's the other thing. They looked at corn. Vitronk's big on this too. He's like, listen, man, the agricultural space.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Saphyr is going to be a powerful tool in the agricultural space moving forward. So I'll leave it with this. We said it before. This ties everything I think that we've kind of talked about before in previous episodes together. Bionano has created a telescope that lets us see a piece of the universe that we've never seen before.
Yeah, that's wild.
And it puts a picture together of the universe that is informing the science more and more every single day. The reason why we don't know a lot about structural variation is because there hasn't been a tool that has given that piece of the puzzle to scientists, to doctors, and what they are doing with this hybrid scaffolding is they're saying, okay, geneticists, here's the end game. Here's everything you need. Save the fucking here's the tool. Saphyr doesn't diagnose anything. It's a tool. It's a telescope, right? But it is I think, in my opinion, it's the linchpin. It is the keystone that is going to unlock hitherto unknown things about our biology and our genome. And I think Vitronk feels that way. I think we all feel that way. And this paper, I encourage everybody to go.
We'll put a link in the description.
Read it. It is, yeah, absolutely. It is. There are tables and stuff on here that are really informative and illustrate exactly what Michael was describing and how we take a lot of little pictures and try and line all these things up together to get a whole map of the genome.
They're going to be faster at getting results, faster to fix issues that people have, right? And they're more cost effective. So it's a win-win all the way around, and then once we start getting everywhere, it's going to blow up. And for the people
shares
that
are on sale right now, so fucking come grab them. You know what I mean?
Right. And all those people that are in bingo that are looking for the tendies, just hey, diamond hands, you guys will be all right. Just
hold that shit.
I wish you guys could have. Never fucking sell. Never fucking sell.
Never fucking sell.
Never fucking sell. No, I wish you guys could. I wish you guys were in my mind sometimes because at first all I was thinking is 921 Main Street is a multiply realizable address, right? Like that's the whole point. That's the whole point of everything I want to say. Yeah. It's
like when during that party I was thinking of like a satellite camera fire suppression system where they're zoomed in and they can see the fire. This house is on fire, but they don't know where to send the fire truck. They're zoomed right in. They're they don't even know what city they're in. And they zoom out. Okay, there's they starting to see landmarks. They zoom out a little further. Okay, they're in this. Okay, now we know what state they're in at least.
That's a really great analogy, actually, and I think
the
that's
GPS of the world.
Yeah, man, exactly. Mm-hmm. We know that there are problems, and sequencing can be used to diagnose medical issues today, right? It can be, and it is being used to diagnose medical issues today. But we're finding
we're just at the
that
beginning of it all, too.
Yeah, right. We're finding that the bigger picture is going to be is actually driving the biology more than maybe single nucleotide variation.
Well,
right?
science has been in a reductionist mindset for a long time now.
Right.
Where it's like, if we could just get to the fucking quarks and neutrinos, we could know everything. And then it's like you get down there and then you're like, oh, wait a minute. You just can't make a decision based on quantum particles because they're always in a superposition, and that's their job, is to be dichotomies, right?
That's
and
right.
So like
that's what they are.
And it's ridiculous. And so like it's really cool to see science kind of moving towards emergent phenomenon again. It's weird because like when you read philosophy from the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, it's like I'm looking at this ball of wax, and when I fucking hate Descartes, but and then I pull it apart and now it's two, and then I put it back together. It's like, was it ever actually two, or is it one, right? Like these are the questions we're asking again now, but with a sense of like realism, like real scientific realism that's worthwhile.
Back to the map.
Back to the map. Yeah.
If anybody from Bionano is listening to this, I want a fucking back to the map.
Oh, back to the map.
Throw me a shirt. Throw me a shirt.
God, that shirt is so lit. I want it so bad.
Back to the map.
Back to
I've
the
been trying
map.
to use that as a hashtag on Twitter.
Reach out to us if you're listening. Henry lives right down the street, so
He'll come pick them up.
totally
Yeah, come
just
grab a
get
box.
some shirts,
I'll
like, for
come
real.
by and pick everything up.
We'll buy them. I will fucking buy that shit.
I
Back to
will
the
pay.
map.
I will
I
pay.
will rock that on this podcast every single
Yep.
time.
Every time.
Give me a BNGO hat and I'll wear
That
it.
and our Tupac socks. I swear.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I wore my Death Row shirt, I think, episode 1 after Tupac socks, and then I wore Tupac last time, and I wore Kendrick in the middle, and now it's Wu-Tang. So
Forever.
Wu-Tang.
Nice.
Wu-Tang forever.
Right on. Is that the end of Vitronk? The Tech Tonk with
And
Vitronk?
that, ladies and gentlemen, is Tech Tonk with Vitronk.
Tech Talk with Vitronk.
Cool.
Man.
Right on. So I think we're gonna play a little trivia now. I have some question and answer, and I think we'll do it where we'll count the points, and whoever wins at the end will get, I don't know, say 5 shares of BNGO. How about that?
Oh my God.
Whoa.
A winner. So there's money on the line, boys.
Holy shit, Jeff.
Yeah.
This just got
it
serious.
leveled up.
This is the real deal.
I thought it was fun and games, but now all of a sudden,
No,
it's
this
fuck you
is-
guys, let's do this.
Wow.
Flesh in the
Like,
game.
where'd that come from?
All right. They're not. Some of them are pretty easy, but we'll see how it goes here. I have to give some credit to my wife too. She helped with a lot of these questions, if not all of them. So
Honestly, double
Yeah.
shout out to her. 1 for the saying something in the intro. 2 for this. It's cool. It's really cool that our partners have been getting involved.
shout out to Jessica. She did some pretty awesome work here. So. All right, so first question, and I think I'll do it with whoever flashes their palm up first. Whoever puts their hand up, then I'll answer you, okay? So what year was Bionano Genomics founded?
Oh, wait.
And Justin.
2003.
Boom! Justin's got it. Boom, Justin.
I'm a fanboy.
I was gonna say
I'm just-
2000.
Yeah, you want to know? I was gonna say 2001, man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
founded
I was gonna
2003.
say
So
2003.
so if they were founded in 2003, when did Eric hop on? When did Eric Holman become CEO? Our King
2011.
Eric.
Oh my bad. I didn't throw my hands
No,
up.
that's what I was gonna say. Was it 2011?
Okay, I'll give you guys each. No, you guys both got it. You guys both got a point.
Ah, yeah, fuckers. I was going to say 2008.
Only because he just tweeted something about how it's been, or when he was talking at the AGBT, he's like, "I've been here for a decade."
What year
Yeah,
is it?
yeah, right.
What year is it?
So you guys are all tied up at 1 each. What is Alcachobi's official title at Bionano Genomics? Justin.
Chief Medical Officer.
You are correct, sir.
We're
Awesome.
fucked. This is.
I will,
Bending
Justin's
the
gonna
knee to
take
the
it.
queen
Okay.
right now.
All right, here we go. Here's another one. Next question.
Oh, Game of Thrones. Let's put Alka on a dragon. Next meme. Go.
Bet.
Yes.
Oh my god! And it's happening. Hold on. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Write
you're
it
right.
down.
Yeah.
Doing that.
You see it. You see what I'm. You see it all, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right.
All right, question. What did Alcatraz... No, I already did that one. What Canadian city's diagnostic laboratory is now piloting the Saphyr system? MJ.
It's Vancouver, right?
Nope. It is a Canadian city. We just had this announcement.
Quebec.
Henry. No, not Quebec. No, Justin, you have one chance.
He's Googling right now. Give him a second.
He's looking it up.
Toronto. I'm not looking it up.
It was Toronto.
Oh man.
Oh, so Justin pulls out in the lead.
I actually don't know if Vancouver was a city or not. I'm just,
I
like,
love it.
Yeah.
it's so
guessed.
strange. I'm so good at like geography generally, except for first world countries. I'm terrible. Like, it's insane. All right, anyways, go on.
Okay,
Anyway.
next question, boys.
Told you I'm going for Jeff.
King Eric holds a PhD in chemistry. From which private research university did he get his PhD? And I'll give you a hint.
It was John Hopkins, right?
Nope. It was in Pasadena.
Oh,
Oh,
Hands up.
now I can't
figure it
guess. I know what it is now.
Okay.
yeah, I don't. I would have missed it.
Justin?
I got nothing, man.
All right.
I got
It
nothing.
was-
Polytech?
It was Caltech.
Yeah.
Caltech.
Oh, you know what?
I'm
I
gonna give-
remember reading that about him.
Mike, you got that one. I'll give that to you. You got it.
That was a false point. If I win on 1 point, it's a false point. I can't claim that.
Okay. Question. What important event happened on August 21st, 2018? This is BNGO related, remember.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. Justin, your hand was up. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say they went public.
Yes, they did.
Oh, I was gonna say the first
IPO.
Saphyr fired up.
I wonder when the first Saphyr in its like the way is now, or how many like editions or versions.
How many
there have been.
iterations? Yeah.
Yeah, iterations. That's a good word. Okay, question. How many genomes is the Saphyr machine capable of reading in 1 week?
96.
My God.
Oh, we just shouted
no,
not now,
no
aren't we?
hand, but I'll
Is that
give
what
it to
we're
him.
doing?
I'll give it to him.
Yeah, I cheated. That's just I just know the secret number.
Yeah, give it to
Okay.
him. Give it to him. He had the answer.
That
All
is
right.
the
So how many is that in a year then for bonus points?
Ooh.
Quick hands up. Hands
I'm
up when
not
you get it.
mathing. Dude, that's like so many adsies and
Mike's
takeaways.
calculating right now.
So many adsies and takeaways.
Oh, he's so deep in
It's
thought.
like 5860.
No, it's just under 5,000. It's like 4,996 or
4860.
something.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So basically $5,000. 5,000.
That's no points. I can't take that point.
$5,000, 5,000.
Okay. Question. This one. What was the all-time high price that BNGO hit during February of 21?
Oh shit.
The all-time. What's the current all-time high? Henry.
1596.
Ooh, a little dyslexia there.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
So what is it, Mike?
I thought it was 1565.
Yes.
I have to
Oh,
quote.
5. Okay.
Yeah,
Justin.
I had
Justin.
5.
It's 1659.
No. Okay,
You're
Henry.
dumb.
I'm gonna correct myself. I'm gonna correct myself.
I quit. I'm
1590.
never playing this game.
1569.
1569.
Yeah,
You
I want to
got-
correct
you got
myself.
it.
1569.
Nice.
I knew it. I knew it.
right,
As soon as
you
I
got
said
that.
it, I knew it was backwards.
69, of course.
Yes. I knew it
Okay.
came out wrong.
Bonus question. Oh no, never mind. We kind of scratched that one. It was what date was that on? But I don't think we'd ever get that. What was the recent low? Hands up. Mike.
583.
Nope. Henry.
558.
Boom. Henry with the points.
Yeah, that's because
Henry.
that's because my 21,000 shares average is 559.
That's right. I
don't know if you remember from the last podcast, I was off by 1 penny.
That's right.
That's why I didn't want to look at my account.
Yeah, right. I remember that. Okay. What am I looking at here? Just give me 2 seconds. Okay, so this is about medical conditions. This is a developmental. Put your hand up when you're ready when you have your answer. A developmental disorder characterized by difficulties with interaction and communication, and by restricted and repetitive behavior. Justin,
Autism spectrum disorder.
you are correct, sir.
Damn.
Full disclosure, I both my wife and I work with special education.
Yes, and that's an excellent job that you guys do. A group of inherited diseases that damage or weaken your muscles over time. Mike.
Autoimmune diseases.
It might be this might be a
I
sub
don't
of
know.
it.
I'm just guessing. I have no idea.
Okay. Anyone else? It's a group of inherited diseases that damage or weaken your muscles over time. So it's muscular.
Oh, muscular
something?
dystrophy was the move.
Yeah. All right. I gotta give
My
that to
brain was
nobody.
thinking it.
I know. Originally,
I gotta-
originally because of the way the question was phrased, I was gonna say comorbidities, but that was.
Oh yeah. Comorbidities.
I was thinking it, but you
Okay.
said it.
This is another one.
Muscular dystrophies. You know,
Dystrophies.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh,
Okay.
Plural. Interesting.
plural.
This next question: a cancer that affects the blood and bone marrow. Hands. Justin,
Leukemias.
you nailed it, brother.
That's one of the
Damn.
4 pillars, baby.
Yes. So you got.
Interesting.
Ooh, looks like Justin's gonna win this one.
Yeah, no.
All right, now we're done with the questions.
So he won.
Question and answer. No, there's still some bonus questions, or I don't even want to call this part of it, but it's just some information about us, about you. This is the bull. This bull has swam over 41 miles in less than a year, or in the span of a year. Mike.
Oh, that's Henry. That is not me. That is not me.
Henry's triathlete extraordinary.
Yeah, I figured that one would be pretty. Okay, so Mike, you got that one. Write that down. This bull spent 2 years investigating paranormal activities and hauntings. Henry.
Justin.
Nailed it. Justin did it.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if it was a double Henry moment because.
True, okay.
Yeah.
But
So how long did you do that?
that would have been me.
How long did you do that, Justin?
I was probably 16 years ago.
Oh, right on. Okay.
It was mostly in Ohio. Mansfield Reformatory was a place that we went. That's where they shot the Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh, I love that movie.
That
All-time
movie
favorite.
was filmed at the Mansfield Reformatory.
Okay.
Did a lot of stuff there, and then some other places in Ohio. It was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Cool.
Stuff.
Yeah, the only thing I did that came close to that was I took a camcorder about maybe 12 years ago and took it to a cemetery on Halloween. Nothing happened, so I didn't go back.
This bull has never left his hometown of 200 people.
Jeff.
I know it's not Henry. Justin lives in Ohio.
Wait, what? No, wait, no, that can't.
There's a fake. There's a fake one to
There's a
throw.
fake
you
one.
off.
No way.
Okay.
Wait, did you say
how
fake,
about-
Henry?
There's a fake one.
Oh, no, I didn't say
That's
fake.
a fake one.
I said it was Jeff.
This bull. I'm going to the next one. This bull once shattered his collarbone while vacationing in the Oregon sand dunes.
Henry. Oh no!
Henry?
Oh.
Mike?
No,
Henry said
Mike. Mike said Henry.
It's the Jeffer.
Oh, that's the
What
wrong
were you
Jeff
doing out in
effect
the
right
sand
there.
dunes, man?
I was squatting and I went over. I thought it was a jump, but it was like a double. So I didn't. I thought it was just a little hill, but it was a launch for a double jump. So there was a big gap between. So I went up and endoed our rented quad and smashed my shoulder into the sand, and it was shattered. It was like just totally like it was up here and here. They were overlapping. That's how they healed too. Was like that. So I had a
sounds
big
painful.
lump right there.
Painful.
Good on
Yeah.
that.
Anyway,
Good on that.
Anyway, I think we can safely say that Justin won that the trivia. So Justin, you have. I'll have to pay.
This
I'll have to PayPal you my shares.
Justin, just
I thought there was one more question. What happened?
No, that was it.
I DM'd you my question. Oh man, I got all ready. I was like, who only wears short shorts when they're not podcasting?
Shut up!
Oh, I
wants to see that.
Shit. No, man.
Oh,
I was ready, dude.
I skipped it. I'm sorry, dude. Damn it. That's
I
awesome.
only wear short shorts. I only wear short shorts.
I quit the podcast.
I'm sorry.
I'm back here again.
Not safe for work.
I have one more question. This bull only
do?
wears short shorts when not working or podcasting.
For real though, I
Sorry.
ask Katie. I only wear short shorts. I only wear
Ew.
short shorts.
Were they
period.
purple? Were they like
Now these ones,
tie-dye?
I have these ones are women's. These are
Okay, we don't need to see the backside of them.
Love.
if I can't twerk, I'm not showing. So
Oh
my
my
God.
for yourself. Man.
it's my truth.
Okay. Now,
Private room. You and me. Right after the podcast.
guess what time it is, guys?
What
It's
time is it,
for
Jeff?
Henry's House of Gainz. House of Gainz. Henry, what is it?
I'm just keeping it simple this week. So, a lot of people, are interested in how Bionano has a revenue, how they get their revenue. They have 3 ways to get their revenue. One is actually they have another one, but we won't get to that. I'll get to this into a second. But Bionano has 3 ways. One, you can get their service, right? So, what does their service entail? It's when you send in sample tissue types or sample types, to Bionano. You can send in tissue biopsies, blood cultured cells, or bone marrow aspirates, right? So if you get the service, you pay $650 per genome, okay, or $750 per genome for mosaic cancer samples collected at 400x. $950 per genome for mosaic cancer samples collected at 1600x. So that's their service. And if you want to get their region rental agreement, it's $550 per genome with a commitment of 120 genomes per 6 months. So that's quite a bit of income for just one lab doing $550 per genome, right? You can also get their Saphyr system, which is $150,000, which would include $550 per genome. Or if you buy a 240 genome bundle, it's $450 per genome, and that includes installation and training services. So that's their service. Now, if you get the consumables, which is that region rental agreement, it looks like they combined that with that on their website. But yeah, the Saphyr system's $150,000, so you can get that as well. So it's service, the consumables, and then you get the entire Saphyr system.
That is exactly what Queen Alka was talking about at the last conference, and kind of ties back into this whole thing, is that they have developed a better microscope, or a better tool, and researchers are developing these laboratory developed tests that are kind of a fast track for patients, and that's the service that Bionano is offering there, I think.
You know what we need to do is all just pitch in on a Saphyr system and just do our own LDTs. Do our own LDTs.
Yeah, you read my mind. What I was thinking is
start our own lab.
What we should do is maybe episode 15 or something like that is when I'll be fully vaccinated by episode 9. So episode 12 or 13, we should try and see if King Eric and Queen Alka will give us a walkthrough, full bull podcast, straight up. Henry and I'll cruise down there and see if we can watch in real time, them do a sample.
I showed Jane today a picture, or that small video of the tag DNA going through the nano channels. It is mind blowing stuff.
It's so cool.
I would love to see that, the workflow that they go through and stuff. It's just incredible.
Yeah, the procedure and how it's all laid out, put in the chip, and then loaded in the machine. If you guys had a quick little video of that to share with the podcast, that would be so cool.
So sick.
So cool. Yeah.
So since this is Henry's House of Gainz, I hadn't thought about Henry's House of Gainz this way, but I like it.
Yeah, the fourth way of them having an income stream was Lineagen. I forgot to mention that. So you have Bionano with their products, right? But they have Lineagen too, which is also creating revenue for them as well. So I just think fourth quarter earnings is going to be freaking amazing on March.
I wonder if they're
26th.
actively shopping for more, looking to acquire any more companies like Lineagen or Lineagen.
I want to say that.
Do you think they would?
That Eric kind of hinted that they're open to the idea of acquiring more IP, but only if it in the context of, they acquired Lineagen because if you're going to build machines to work in tandem with sequencing, then you should know something about sequencing. You know what I mean? Then you should. So they bought a sequencing company.
Right.
Great Henry's House of Gainz. I think
Love
it's
it.
super important to go, for people to know. Oh, dude.
All right, so I think we'll move on to the Jeffrey effect.
It's
Jeffrey
the
effect.
Jeffrey effect.
And it's not going to be anything special. I'm going with the same pick as I did last week because it still hasn't done what I wanted to do. They have a FDA approval that is just imminent. It could be any morning, any day. It could be announced. And I know that the analysts have a price suggestion of at least $5, or actually, I think it was the analysts moved it from $5 to $7, and right now it is at $2.91. You know what sucks? Because I originally had this picked for when we were when our regular scheduled recording day was, which is Sunday, and it was at $2. And so from that point, it's gone up to $2.91. But anyway, since we recorded in the middle of the week, it was it's right around par with when I first called it last week or last episode. They have a whole bunch of, actually a couple other huge catalysts, acceptance of some kind of deal. Once they get the FDA approval, then there's a purchase order that's going to be going through from China, I'm pretty sure, for huge numbers. What they do is they have a system that is capable of producing quick results for tests for diseases or illnesses. So OPGN, that's my pick, and we'll see. Hopefully this week it
support
does
your
good.
pick.
Thank you, Henry. That means everything to me. Everything.
OPGN.
Thanks, buddy.
I seriously,
OPGN.
I think that's going
Thanks,
to be
buddy.
huge.
Yeah, hopefully.
Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good pick,
Justin,
man.
what do you think this week's final price is going to be?
Listen,
the closing for the end of the week.
For 4 weeks, I've
BNGO.
gotten crushed
Yeah,
on my price targets. Okay,
I know that.
listen to me. Mark my words right now. It's quadruple witching.
It's crazy.
We are running up to earnings.
Yeah,
Friday is going to be a fucking huge FOMO Friday.
FOMO
like
Friday.
we have
FOMO
never
Friday,
seen
dude.
before.
Yeah, yeah.
We are going to set. I'm not going to give an exact price, but I'm going to say this. We are setting an all-time high
Oh,
by Friday. It will
Fireworks.
happen. Mark my
All-time
words.
high.
Cool. So a new all-time high. All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's my pick. That's my price target. New
I
all-time
support
high.
you on that, Justin. I support you.
Thank you, Henry.
Good call.
Thank you.
you know, I'll bolster that.
All right.
So-
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All-time high, baby.
So you think it's going to be? Okay, Henry, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Your price estimate?
I know that's huge. All-time high. I'm saying the same thing. All-time high.
1560. So you guys are both
15
just saying it's going to go higher than 1569.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely higher than 16. Pushing
Okay.
20, maybe 20 plus. Honestly.
Really, in 5 days?
No, I'm serious, man. Dude, it's quadruple witching.
Quadruple witching!
Quadruple witching.
We're going fucking
Look at like the waving inflatable
I love this
arm
podcast.
Man, Justin.
That's the signal. That's the
Okay,
signal. That's how you
Mike.
know.
Mike, what do you think? Yeah, oh boy. I flap my arms. I just flap my arms around.
Don't be a star bear. Don't be a
just
star
happened.
bear.
Oh,
Mike,
I couldn't be a star bear.
Don't be a bear.
Don't put a put.
Be a bear.
Don't buy a put.
I'm gonna.
Dude,
I have a number in mind myself.
I think on Thursday. So I think we're gonna have a slow climb up. I was like looking at my charts. I think we're gonna have a slow climb up to around like 1150 by like Wednesday. It's gonna be mellow. And then Thursday, before quadruple witching, because there's going to be so much volatility, some shorts are going to cover, some people are going to buy in. We'll get 1 or 2 big toot buys. We usually do on Wednesday or Thursday. We get a couple of big buys. And we'll see like 13. And then early Friday, we'll see a dip. And I'm going to margin that dip.
Are you?
And I'm going to try and sell that margin dip at the new all-time high.
Love me. Oh, no. You guys are a blast. Yeah. So
you assholes! I swear to God, you're beautiful.
Okay, I love that.
Jeff,
that was awesome.
please tell us what is your pick.
I don't know. I'm looking at the chart right now. I see we got all the way up to 1569, and I think there's no way we're not going to beat that.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff said it's going to fucking happen. It's going to happen. Wave your hands. That's the Full Boo Podcast.